Welcome to Cloud Institution YouTube channel, the best software training institute. So today we are going to discuss what is Azure. So let's move on to next question. What is Azure Virtual Machine Scale Set? Azure Virtual Machine Scale Set, that is VMSS, are the compute service that allow you to deploy and manage a group of identical load balanced virtual machines. They automatically scale or out of based on demand, ensuring high available and fast performance. VMSS simplifies large-scale application deployments by enabling centralized management, auto-scaling, and integration with Azure Load Balancer and Application Gateway. So, in Azure is a service that allows you to deploy and manage a group of identical virtual machines that can automatically scale in and scale out based on demand. It is designed to ensure high available on load balancing for application by automatically adjusting the number of VMs in response to performance metrics like CPU usage of memory. So for example, you can easily deploy the services and you can easily scale up and you can scale down also as per the utilization of your CPUs. So let's move on to demo and you'll be getting more clarification. So I'll open my portal and I'll search for virtual machine scale set. So VM scale set. So you can see virtual machine scale set. So I'm going to create a virtual machine scale set. Okay. So I'll create a virtual machine scale set. For that, I'll give a resource group that is Cloud Institution. So I'll give a virtual machine scale set as a name. So you can see the region is East US and you can see availability zone. So I'm not going to select any availability zone, just wait. So next, I'm going to give availability zone as none and you can see the mode. So flexible and uniform. Okay, so flexible you can easily create, so there is no restriction. But when you're talking about the uniform, you'll be having certain kinds of restrictions also. And when you're talking about the security group, right now we are using cluster launch virtual machine. Okay, so this virtual machine scale set will be attached to the virtual machine. That means Windows server. And I'll be attaching that Windows server and I'll be hosting a web hosting also. And you can see the virtual machine scales up, it is automatically scale up and everything. Okay, so you can see scaling mode. So right now I'm going to use only manual update the capacity. I'm going to select. Why? Because I just want to show you the output. So manually it will create, but later we'll change that one also. So instance count, instead of 1, I'll change into 1. Instead of 2, I'll change into 1. Why? Because I just want to show the output. Okay, so after doing that, I'll select the image as Windows Server 2022 Data Center Azure Edition Hot Patch. I'll be selecting, and the size which I'm going to select is 3.5. So after selecting that, I'll select a username and password and enable the licensing also. Then straight I'll click towards the Review Plus Create. So existing things like sport, disk, networking, management, health, advanced tag, and everything will be maintained by the provider. So I'll click towards the Review Plus Create and I'll create it. So here you can see one health problem is there, right? So in health, I'll just enable this option and I'll configure with HTTP. Why? Because I just want to host a web hosting also. So I'll give the port number 80 and I'll give port number 80 here also. And I'll click save and I'll click review plus screen. So if you're getting any error, please do the same thing. So you'll be getting errorless. So after the running file means after the running file validation, you can easily create the virtual machine scale set. Okay. So after the initialized deployment only, you can create a virtual machine inside. I mean that means you can attach a virtual machine inside the virtual machine scale set. Okay. So just wait. So you can see my deployment has been completed, right? So I'll go to the resources. So right now it is done by manually. So I just want to change the entire scale set and scale down. Okay. So before that, I'll check how many instance has been created. So when you click on instance, you can see right now one instance has been running. Why? Because the instance count which I have given is one. So that's why you can see one instance is running. So I'll easily change the size. That means scaling option. So I'll go to the size. Sorry, not size. I'll go to the scaling option and I'll click towards the custom auto scale. So in custom auto scale, you can see scale based on metrics. So I'll select scale based on metrics and you can see instance limit. So minimum is 1 and I'm giving maximum 10 and default is 1. And you can see we have to add a path or rule, that is scale up and scale down. So we'll click towards the add a rule option and you can see right now the metrics namespace will be shown here. So just wait. So the metric namespace is virtual machine host, and you can see metrics name is percentage CPU. And right now the percentage CPU's average is 92.82. So I'll change this threshold scale up the 70% into 5%. Why? Because I just want to show you the output. And when you're using scale up, it should be greater than. Okay. And in operation, it should be increased count by. So after adding scale up, what you have to do is we have to add a rule for scale down also. So I'll change this 70 into 4. Okay, and this greater than should be changed into lesser than and increase count by should be changed into decrease count by. So after doing these things and everything, we'll click on add option. So you can see I've added a scale up and scale down. So after adding these things and everything, we'll click on save option. So after this updating everything, what you have to do is we have to create a virtual machine and we have to attach that virtual machine with scale set. So I'll go with virtual machine. So I'll click on create virtual machine. I'll give resource group and I'll give virtual machine name VM1 and you can see East US. And you can see in adaptive option, I'll select virtual machine scale set. Why? Because I need to attach virtual machine scale set. So I'll attach my created virtual machine scale set. And when you go down, you can see the image. So I'll change this image into Windows Server 2022 data center Azure Edition hot patch. So after that, you can see size that is 3.5 and I'll change this username into Cloud Institution. Okay, so for this, I just want to, so why? Because I just want to see you, I just want to show you the output. So that's why I'm hosting web hosting also. Okay, so I enable HTTP and I'll enable this licensing option and I'll go back to the Review Plus Create and I'll create this entire virtual machine. So after the virtual machine is created, I'll go back to the Windows Server and I'll host the web server, that is IS, Internet Information Service. So you already know Internet Information. So last class, we already discussed what is Internet Information Service and that uploaded videos is already in the YouTube channel. You can go through that one also. Okay. So I'll click towards the create option and just wait for the deployment. So you can see it is deployed, right? So I'll go to resource and I'll connect with my Windows server. So I'll click on connect. I'll click download RDP file. So you already know these things and everything. Last class I have uploaded these things, how to connect the Windows server, how to connect with the IES, that is Internet Information, that is web hosting and everything, right? So if you have not gone through that, please go through that YouTube channel, which I have already uploaded. So you'll get a more clarification. Okay. So right now I'm just connecting with my Windows server. So you can see my Windows server has been connected right now. So we'll wait for the server manager. So I'll enable this networking. So you can see server manager has been opened. So we'll wait for it. So I'll click on add roles and features. I'll click on next, next, next. And I'll select this web server IS. And I'll select add features. I'll click on next, 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 install. So you can see it starts to installation. So we'll wait for it. So right now it is pending stage. We have to wait till the 100%. Okay. So you can see it is deployed, right? So you know how to host it, right? So I'll go back. I'll remove this one. I'll copy this public IP. I'll go to incognito window and I'll paste it and I'll click enter and I'll click continue to site. So you can see a web host has been done, that is Internet Information Service. So right now I've given a stress inside it. So I just want to check how many instance has been created automatically. Okay, so I'll go back to my virtual machine scale set and I'll go to the instance. And when you go to the instance, you can see number of instance has been created. So first it was one, later it changed into four. So this is how you create a virtual machine scale set. That means scale up and scale down. So I think you have got an idea and it is would be helpful for you. So if you like our channel, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And for more information, contact Cloud Institution. Thank you.